a story of drama, family, and resilience. Momma Dee's journey to the hospital after Shay slapped her during the performance. Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta has undoubtedly earned its reputation as one of the most explosive series in the genre, which is noted for its high drama, erratic moments, and frequently turbulent relationships. Momma Dee is one of its most notable stars because of her fearless demeanor, tough outlook, and frequently exaggerated appearance. The hospitalization of Momma Dee following a violent brawl with Shay Johnson during a hot moment on the show, however, was one surprising episode that left fans in shock. The drama that unfolded behind the scenes of that momentous occasion is examined in this essay, along with the feelings, fallout, and lessons that can be drawn from it. In addition to personal strife, the drama explores power relationships, familial bonds, and vulnerability as they develop under the spotlight of reality television. The scene is prepared, reality TV, and the dramatic explosion. Because it makes it difficult to distinguish between fictional and real-life situations, reality television has long enthralled viewers. Ordinary people have become celebrities because to shows like Love and Hip Hop, which highlight their relationships, lives, and hardships. Being forced into the spotlight comes fame and increased tensions for many of these celebrities. Family conflicts, love relationships, and tense friendships are frequently at the heart of the show's plot. Since her debut on Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, Momma Dee, the self-described Queen of Atlanta, has been a mainstay of the program. She is the mother of rapper Lil Scrappy and is well known for her exaggerated demeanor. Her unrestrained behavior makes her one of the most distinctive characters on the show. Momma Dee has been involved in a number of feuds over the years, but none have been as contentious as the one with Shay Johnson. Lil Scrappy once had a complicated connection with Shay, who was also Scrappy's mother, Momma Dee. Shay has made several appearances on the show as a confidante and friend, although her relationships with Momma Dee have always been difficult. Their tense relationship has its origins in personal history. Shay and Scrappy's previous affair has long been a source of contention, and their divergent dispositions have resulted in frequent altercations. The drama that transpired in the aforementioned episode was anything but ordinary. What started out as a conversation between Shay and Momma Dee swiftly turned into something far more serious. Words were exchanged, tempers erupted, and Shay shocked everyone by slapping Momma Dee before anybody could stop him. The slap, a tense moment that descended into violence. One of the show's pivotal moments was the actual smack. What started out as a heated argument between two ladies swiftly descended into a violent altercation. The audience had seen the simmering hostility between Momma Dee and Shay play out in several previous episodes, and the tension between them had been growing for a while. This instance of physical aggression, however, was unprecedented. In addition to being an act of physical violence, Shay's slap represented years of unresolved emotional tension between the two ladies. Fundamentally, it was an expression of annoyance, suffering, and betrayal. Always the forceful one in her son's life, Momma Dee had frequently expressed disapproval of Shay's romantic relationship with Lil Scrappy. Shay eventually came under Momma Dee's severe criticism, which only served to increase their hostility. Shay used the slap as a form of self-defense against what she saw as Momma Dee's persistent undermining. Being continuously disparaged by Momma Dee made it hard for her to feel welcome, especially because her relationship with Lil Scrappy had already been the subject of public attention. The smack was an emotional release at that precise moment, the result of years of repressed annoyance. The aftermath was equally stunning as the shock of the slap. Momma Dee was clearly injured, both physically and emotionally. As soon as possible, the production crew took over, and Momma Dee was taken to the hospital. The effects of hospitalization on the body and emotions. Momma Dee was rushed to the hospital right away after the smack, where her condition was evaluated. The scenario became much more complicated because of the public nature of the dispute and the strong emotions that were present at the time. The impact on Momma Dee was indisputable, even though the encounter may have been somewhat contrived for the program. Momma Dee had minor physical injuries as a result of the slap, but the psychological damage was far greater. Being physically hurt in such a public way was a blow to Momma Dee's pride, as her public character is based on her strength and self-assurance. She was left to deal with the embarrassment of being harmed by someone she regarded as a member of her extended family. In addition to the agony from the slap in her role as a mother, Momma Dee had always felt compelled to protect her son, Lil Scrappy, from the ladies in his life. But this fight was different. It wasn't about defending her son. Rather, it was about the violation of her own dignity. The fact that the animosity between her and Shay had escalated to an irrevocable level was brought home to her by the smack. Despite her physical wounds, Momma Dee's fortitude was evident. She wasn't broken, even if she was shaken. Her determination to take charge of the story and preserve her sense of authority and value was only strengthened by the occurrence. Reconciliation or escalation in the aftermath. The next episodes were centered on the slap's aftermath. The producers of the show took advantage of the drama by documenting Momma Dee's recuperation, turning her hospitalization into a plot point in and of itself. Whether or not the two women could make up was the most pressing question for the audience. For her part, Shay apologized for what she had done, but she also maintained that she had behaved out of exasperation. She felt justified in defending herself because of the complex relationship she had with Momma Dee. Nonetheless, it was evident that the experience had left both ladies emotionally damaged. After spending the most of the season looking tough and in charge, Momma Dee now found herself in a difficult situation where she was unsure of her place in the reality TV industry and her job as a mother. The event served as a bitter reminder of Lil Scrappy's broken connections. Although he had always made an effort to keep his mother and his romantic partners amicable, the slap demonstrated that some conflicts were insurmountable. Scrappy found himself torn between two strong women who had both been significant figures in his life, but were now at conflict in a violent and highly visible way. In spite of the emotional consequences, the event marked a sea change for both ladies. Momma Dee began to modify her approach and reevaluate her connection with Shay as a result of the incident. Shay used the slap as a catalyst for introspection, understanding that her behavior had repercussions and that emotional regulation was essential to overcoming the difficulties of her public existence. The wider view, vulnerability and power dynamics. Fundamentally, the conflict between Momma Dee and Shay exposes the nuanced power dynamics in their partnership. Shay's need for acceptance and respect is at odds with Momma Dee's assertiveness, which frequently verges on aggression. Although a lot of their conflict stemmed from this imbalance, the slap destroyed the carefully crafted facade of control that both women had built. The vulnerability displayed by both women in the aftermath of the incident was what made it so striking. Her typically strong veneer was broken, revealing Momma Dee's human side and the emotional toll that ongoing strife had taken on her. The slap served as a warning to Shay of the potentially irreparable effects of unbridled fury. Their vulnerability served as a potent reminder in both situations that even the most resilient people have their limits, and that unresolved conflict can have disastrous consequences. The altercation also brought to light the manner in which reality TV takes advantage of these dynamics for its own amusement. The network producers and camera crew all have a stake in escalating the drama, sustaining these disputes, and attracting viewers. The incident between Momma Dee and Shay may have been staged or exaggerated to some degree, but the emotions and consequences that followed were real. Conclusion: a moment of transformation. Even though there was bloodshed and mayhem during the slap, it ultimately served as a springboard for introspection and personal development. The fight was a reminder to Momma Dee and Shay of the brittleness of interpersonal bonds, and the potential for unresolved conflicts to degenerate into destructive conduct. Both ladies came out of the experience more conscious of their own weaknesses and the need to attain inner peace despite the drama and the consequences. The effects of the slap were felt long after the last credits had rolled, and Momma Dee's hospitalization and recuperation turned into a pivotal point in her journey as the cameras continued to roll. It served as a sobering reminder that although reality TV is meant to be entertaining, the feelings and behaviors of the participants are frequently far from predetermined. Ultimately, the event reflected the human condition: power, conflict, fragility, and the lessons learned from high-stress situations. It was a tale of tenacity, development, and always changing dynamics of friendship and family in the uncertain realm of reality TV, even though it may have been upsetting to watch.